And in that, I will remind Adam that in the faith I believe and practice. The scripture said in Surah 8, Al-Anfal, verse 30, in the middle of the verse said, the continuous killings, burglaries, shortage of water, erratic supply of electricity, the rampant corruption in your government, youth unemployment, depreciation of our currency over foreign currencies. How are you going to tackle this year's disaster, Adam Barrow, in this country? These are the issues we expected you to address when you have the opportunity to address the public and not to go personal. You are the CEO of the Gambia. You are the president of the Gambia that everybody looks upon to you. But currently, the nation possible statements and the manner you are governing this country. But we can tell you, even if Dabo dies in your tenure, we have more than thousands of Dabo in United Democratic Party. We have more than hundreds of these guys who are more than Dabo, who can deliver far more than Dabo. Dabo is the party leader, the Secretary General. Does it mean he is there only to be for United Democratic Party? I can tell you we have the life of our Lord Mayor, Talib Bensouda here with us. We have the life of Rahim Malik Low. We have the life of Yans Dabo, Landing, you name them, Alagi S. Dabo, you name them, Haji Suarez, Binta Segor, Mariama Sibos, and all others, Fadera Ismaila. We have a lot of them who can act exactly like Usainu, and in fact more than Usainu. But he's just putting you on the straightforward, talking about that land that you grab. And today you made mention that let the Justice Ministry come up with that documentation so that you can return the paper. We are telling you that the Justice Ministry, IOA, they will not come up with that letter. We want you to declare it yourself that you are forfeiting the land. Thereby, I am stopping here and I'm going to call on the first speaker to come and address this press conference, who is no one but Ismaila Fadera, who is speaking on behalf of the student wing of the United Democratic Party. Thank you very much.
Mr. Moderator, Honorable Kante, it is indeed sad and unfortunate to stand on this very podium to deliver a statement on behalf of the UDP Students' Week. On Saturday night, I find it extremely difficult to at least find a comfort in sleeping because of a troubling remarks made by someone who is supposed to be the father of the nation, who is not a president of the president. Without wasting much time, I go straight into the statement by the Students' Wing. The UDP Students' Wing is deeply disheartened and appalled by the recent vulgar and disrespectful remarks made by the President Adam Barrow against our esteemed leader, who is no other person than Barrow. President Barrow's declaration to remain in power until the death of Mr. Dabo, claiming to have signed a contract to that effect, is not only a flagrant display of arrogance, but also a severe affront to the principles of democracy and respect that our nation holds dear. This statement is a stark reminder of the dangerous path our leadership is treading. To boast about staying in power until the demise of a political opponent is not just unethical, it undermines the very fabric of our democratic society. It is unbecoming of any leader, especially the president, to engage in such disgraceful rhetoric. The presidency is an office that should embody the highest standard of respect, integrity, and responsibility. Instead, President Barrow's words have sown seeds of division and disrespect. As students and future leaders of the Gambia, we must unequivocally condemn such behavior. Our nation, the Gambia, deserves better. We deserve leaders who uphold the values of humility, respect, and dignity. We must remind President Barrow that power is not eternal and ultimate. It is the people who decide the fate of their leaders. The future of the Gambia lies in the hands of its people, and we must strive to create a society where our leaders inspire hope and unity, not fear and division. We call upon all Gambians, regardless of their political affiliation, to stand with us in condemning these various remarks. Let us work together to build a nation where respect and decency are at the forefront of the political discourse. Today, this early morning, to our greatest dismay, the Information Minister, who happened to be the mouthpiece of the government of the Gambia, in his interview with QTV, we will touch on that aspect because it was not a surprise to me. It is deeply concerning to witness someone who holds a PhD, someone who is contributing towards shaping of the future leaders of this country, someone who is a political lecturer. It is disheartening to witness Dr. Cisse, our Information Minister, dismiss every vulgar utterance of the President as mere political remarks. This defense not only undermines the severity of the President's inappropriate language, but also reflects the troubling inconsistency in our leadership. It is the same Dr. Cisse who once criticized President Barrow, calling him clueless, provoking such agitation in Barrow that he reacted irrationally, referring to Dr. Cisse dismissively. To brush off the President's insult as political remarks is tactically endorse a dangerous precedent. When the highest office in the land is allowed to operate chaotically with impunity, it sets a precedent for all to follow. Dr. Cisse's defense of the President only makes the work of the Inspector General of Police more challenging. While the IGP, in his own words, strives to maintain civil discourse and order, his efforts are thwarted by a President whose behavior is anything but civil. The IGP's strong appeal for respectful communication are rendered ineffective in the face of such a poor example from our leader. Leadership begins at the top. A chaotic and foolish president leads to a chaotic and foolish nation. I repeat. Leadership begins at the top. A chaotic and foolish president leads to a chaotic and foolish nation. When our leaders fail to uphold the standard of respect and dignity, it becomes impossible to expect the same from the citizenry. For the good of our nation, the Gambia, we must hold them accountable and insist on leadership that is both respectful, or that is both respectable and respectful. Only then we can hope to create a society where decency and integrity prevail. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the wisdom and strength to uphold these values, and may His infinite blessings be upon Ba Usenu Dabo and all who work tirelessly for the betterment of our beloved country, the Gambia. Thank you.
First, there are certain points we would like to settle on straight and put before the media and everyone here present. That the youth wing of the United Democratic Party is giving Barrow 48 hours to apologize to our party leader, or else we will be on straight the next 2 days. That will be on Friday. Secondly, we are calling on the National Executive of the United Democratic Party to withdraw from the national dialogue with immediate. The disrespect is enough and is too much for the party leader. And also, we'll add our voice on the Lord Mayor's voice, stating to the party leader not to respond to the president. The party militants, including the youth wing, will take full responsibility of what had happened and will go with him tit for tit and will be there with him. Finally, the statement that we want to tell him finally is enough and is enough.
Yes.
Enough is enough.
Yes.
It's too much and it's enough. On that statement, we are calling on every Gambian to unite and say no to tap down for President Barrow. This is a collective responsibility. This is not a responsibility for the party of the United Democratic Party. All political parties, CSOs, private individuals, and whosoever who is living in the Gambia and abroad but call yourself a Gambian, we should all unite to fight against the tap down for President Barrow. The Democratic Party Youth Wing, Honorable Haji Suwane, who will come on podium to give a stand and the point for the youth wing of the United Democratic Party. Thank you, Haji. You are highly.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, respectfully present here, and colleagues at the national executive level who wasted no time but to come and observe this most important occasion. I'm deeply shocked, but nonetheless not surprised by the president's unpatriotic, irresponsible, undemocratic, and unconstitutional rhetoric he delivered while opening his bureau in Birkama, West Coast region on the 27th of July 2024. When I heard the remark, I asked myself so many questions, and the answers, some of them I have myself, but some will be left to the public to be the judge of yourself. When I heard he spoke of a death of an opponent, the first that comes to my mind, it is that one of my famous speaker, I mean a famous and a popular speaker from Zimbabwe, when he always said that corruption is a vile disease. I definitely concluded that indeed corruption is not only a vile disease, but corruption is the mother, the father of all dictators this world has get back from. We ask ourselves now, when a sitting president is calling an opposition leader, why that opposition leader did not do only things but duties vested upon him or her to hold the sitting government accountable for transparent and accountable running of his government. While we expect an answer from the president, the sitting president, the public did not hear anything. I have to kill Hussein Udao. I have to see Hussein Udao being killed. I have to observe the burial of Hussein Udao to confirm his death before I relinquish power. Is this not a threat to national security? If not, I ask my question. What is more than a threat to national security than this? Fellow Gambians, residents of Gambia, this question towards 2026. I went through the audio, which is almost 30 minutes or more. I listened to it keenly, if not more than 10 times. But I did not hear a single message a sitting president have addressed that is to a national interest, or one could say is a national interest agenda. And I will remind you, political gatherings are an opportunity accorded to politicians to emphasize or to repeat, or if not, to give citizens the new ideas and policies, programs they have for Gambian people, if the serving has leaders in the helm of affairs. Speakers has alluded to so many challenges the country is facing. That include recently the capsize of a boat that has already consumed more than 150 people. How many families are affected in that? Almost an entire family was perished in the waters of Virginia. Where are they from? From where the president came from, that is Luara or Panama. Why did the family perish? Why did they choose to perish in the waters than to remain comfortable in their house, alive? Just to enjoy whatsoever thing one could enjoy when you are alive. The answer is, if you have seen somebody running away from his house, throwing himself or herself in the waters, you should know there's nothing chasing him but fire outbreak. That means that the Gambians currently, nothing is killing our youth, but the hardship can be interpreted as a fire outbreak that is trying to throw every Gambian in the Mediterranean Sea, which has been now a graveyard to our youth. If President Barrow can speak for almost 30 minutes without even showing solidarity, sympathy to those desperate youths who choose to die in the waters than to live in the Gambia under his leadership, this is concerning as a youth leader. This is a nightmare as a politician. This is unfortunate as a citizen. That is why we are not just doing this press conference merely for talking, but we are giving President Barrow messages. When I had these remarks, the first thing I do, I have to send a message to HE, His Excellency A.N.M. Udao, not to utter a single word in response to President Barrow's irresponsible and whatsoever brain drain he has, not for him to respond to these kind of messages. But I also assure myself, without putting him to him, that we will take responsibility of whatsoever will happen. But this country must be liberated. This country must get its independence. Not independent because of just politics, but independent economically. We don't want to see anymore the youth of this country taking the irregular migration way, that is the famous bad way, to die in the waters because of why the government cannot create any meaningful employment for those youth. We will not see anymore here. And we will stand and demand, as the speakers alluded to, the debt contract that President Barrow has said he signed to see the death of Hussein Dabo and to confirm while tracing his burial that Hussein Dabo has died for him to be able to relinquish power. We will want to see that death contract. And it is not merely we want to see it, but we will fight to see that death contract. Because why? He spoke with certainty. He spoke with confidence. He spoke with a belief that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to kill Hussein Dabo before him. And I tell you, he is lying. He has no contract with Allah. He did not see any contract. He has never seen Allah's wisdom. He has never seen Allah's message directly. The answer is, President Barrow has a contract to assassinate a citizen. A citizen that is always standing to hold a government accountable before President Barrow's bomb ended back in this country. 1996 was the year United Democratic Party was formed. We all know. For a head of state to stand in front of the public and lie to us, saying that whatever he did, what he did in this party, nobody has done it. Was he the founder of this party? I said no, it's a lie. He did not found nothing but party. UDP was found by decent Gambians. UDP was found by intellectuals, patriots who love their country. They came together in an environment. While President Barrow, if you told him to come out that day, he is going to not only to faint, but he could even die. Because we saw the day President was arrested. President Barrow see himself under a table. If that man could tell me that he did something for this party which nobody could do, I have no answer. I have no other response but to call him a liar. Who is that and entrusted to uphold the principle of democracy, to guide a constitution that said that right to life is a fundamental human right. For you to come out and publicly order the killing of an opponent, I can call you that an unfortunate liar this country has ever get past. And my message to the IGP, I met them just last 2 weeks. We have a discussion. They were talking about immoralities. They were talking about uncultural utterances in our political discourse. The answer I gave him, you have a daunting task. Because you have a president whom you must dance to his tunes, who cannot control himself when delivering public speeches. If you want to control moralities in this country, if you want to discipline people in this country, you have to get prepared, because the first person to discipline, or to guide, or to term is President Barrow. But he vindicated me, thank God. He went to become. He did not deliver anything to national interest. Look at the insecurity, eternal that we face as a country. If you talk about ordinary citizens, people could say that police will tell you that we cannot protect them because they are killed at their homes. Hard-working, patriotic political officers were killed by an armed gun officer who no one knows up to date who the killer is. I repeat, who no one knows up to date who the killer is. So if you talk about internal security, and prior to that killing, President Barrow stood in an opening of a police station built by German government. He said, the security of this country is today guaranteed than any day else. He in fact said that it is the critics that are over-exaggerating these issues. But this government have done enough to secure each and every Gambian. The next week, he was told that, Mr. President, you got a mistake. This country is insecure. In fact, we are telling you we're going to kill your police officers. And they killed them. How are those families going through today? What's supposed to be done as far as our government is concerned? These are the questions we should have asked ourselves. But if President Barrow or Mr. Adam Barrow could only stand and sign a death contract to kill Mr. Usain Dabo before he relinquishes power, I am calling on IEC. I am calling on IEC. Because when people tend to interpret things, they don't go critical. I go critical. I know why Adam Barrow is saying that. I know why he stood and promised and took oath that he will never get or step down as the president. Because he said, he did not say that I will continue to contest. He said, I will not relinquish power. What is the contract signed with IEC? We want to know. What is the self-perpetuating contract signed with the IEC? We want to know. We already knew what transpired in 2021. But at the time, a lot of things were being said. And as our party leader first spoke before us, we couldn't do anything but to comply to his appeal. That is, he did not even want a chicken, to die because of Hussein that was president. It was emotional. But a voter population of over 200,000 votes who voted for Hussein Dabo, they all comply with discipline, with respect to H.A. Hussein Dabo. I'm telling Hussein Dabo, move out from our protest. I did this press conference, never consulted me. And I will do my things, I will never consult him. I am elected truly by the use of this party. And they have trust, I have a social contract with them. They have to see a government that is responsible. They have to see a government that is going to protect their votes. They have to see a government that is going to, a party that is going to defend what they have decided for. And I'm ready. And I'm ready. If I say I here, I mean we are ready as youths. Nobody will take the back seat. We will die, but we will see the vote of the United Democratic Party members being protected. The votes of Gambian people who doesn't believe in Adam Barrow's government will be protected. We will die for this country. If Soros and they could die, why not myself and others? If Sultan would sacrifice his life, why not me? So we cannot continue to be lambasted in an environment that we believe we don't deserve because of a mayor president who doesn't even have a clue about what he has to do. He talked about the plot that Usain Dabo asked him to surrender because it was legally acquired. And I can tell you, Usain Dabo came with facts because he quoted the Constitution. Section 168 tells us that the president cannot directly or indirectly enrich himself on the detriment of the people. If he does, it has attracted nothing but an impeachment. That is why Binta Semo alluded to the National Assembly. If they are responsible enough and they believe in Section 75 of the Constitution, they will definitely pass an impeachable motion to impeach or to start the process of impeaching the president. Even though we don't have the numbers, but trust, records, and integrity, ethics, and principles matters. Apart from that, the majority of the parliament decides. But what is on us is just to do the needful. If a president can close his eyes while declaring his assets in 2021, he said very clear, we saw in the document, he has 9 properties in his name. You go to the Electoral Act, Section 5. It tells you, if anybody has more than 1 plot, the states cannot give you a plot to live. But President Barrow did not only stop at 9 plots. He said his bank account has more than 200 million Gambian dollars. Yes, the same president is wanting to steal, is wanting to butcher from the scarce resources of this poor nation. What would you ask yourself? Why do I vote? Why do you vote? What should we expect? Is it this? The answer is no. This is the president who stood here not long ago. He increased taxes. Today, a bottle of water now is 25 because of a so-called tax stamp has created nothing but a bottle of water to exceed to $30 or even 35. You call this a country? And that is why when Barrow says it's a failed state, don't think it's a political statement. It's already a failed state when Gambians don't want to stand and liberate their country from criminals like Alabama. This is a country where national audit reports prove that each and every life or soul in this country that the president's office, State House, has consumed more than 669 Gambian dollars. When Mali stood to hold him accountable, he said Mali is an inciter of violence. Who's an inciter of violence? When I say corruption, it's a vile disease. Corruption is a threat to national security. This is where it is. National audit report. Submitted their report. The president only stated that that report is a major opinion and it is biased. An institution that has been sponsored by citizens, taxpayers' money, to give us a clue, a direction on how our resources is managed by the state. If a president could stand and call that institution, describe it as a mere opinion, biasness in it, where do you think you are going? Fellow youth, the fear of Usain Dabo, it is not his age. The fear for Usain Dabo, I can tell you, Barrow spoke to Marcus. Barrow spoke to Marabus. They told him that if you don't kill Usain Dabo before 2026, he's going to end your government. And if he ends your government, he's going to prosecute you. You're going to my school. That is why I am telling this Akarawa, if Usain Dabo dies, from here to 2026, we are going to hold him accountable. And it's better you dig your own graveyard, you bury yourself before Usain Dabo dies. I thank you all for listening.